U.S. Commerce Secretary confident in EU trade deal amid tariff deadline. In a bold move, U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has expressed unwavering confidence that America will clinch a significant trade deal with the European Union. But here's where it gets controversial. August 1st looms as a firm deadline for the imposition of tariffs, a development that has raised eyebrows among international trade watchers. Fresh off a call with European trade negotiators, Lutnick assured that there's ample room for consensus, despite the looming deadline. We're talking to the world's largest trading bloc. It's a no-brainer that we'll strike a deal. My confidence is unshaken, Lutnick declared in an exclusive interview with CBS Face the Nation. U.S. President Donald Trump's threat to impose a hefty 30% tariff on imports from the EU and Mexico, effective August 1st, has added a layer of urgency to the negotiations. This follows weeks of failed attempts to hammer out a comprehensive trade pact with key U.S. trading allies. Lutnick made it clear that August 1st is non-negotiable, emphasizing that while dialogue can continue post-deadline, the tariffs will kick in as scheduled. Trump's tariff announcement came via letters to European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and other major trading partners, including Mexico, Canada, Japan, and Brazil. The letters outlined blanket tariff rates ranging from 20% to 50%, with a specific 50% levy on copper imports. Adding another twist to the story, Lutnick hinted at the potential renegotiation of the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, signed during Trump's first term. He noted that USMCA-compliant goods from Mexico and Canada would remain exempt from tariffs, unless there are substantial changes. A year from now, I see the president revisiting the USMCA negotiations, Lutnick predicted. As the clock ticks down to August 1st, all eyes are on how these trade dynamics will unfold. Will the tariffs be a catalyst for swift action, or will they escalate tensions further? And this is the part most people miss. What does this mean for the future of global trade? What do you think about Secretary Lutnick's confidence and the looming tariff deadline? Share your thoughts and predictions in the comments section below. U.S. and EU tariff deadlines, Trump's hardball and EU's struggle for deal. The clock is ticking toward a high-stakes trade showdown that could reshape global commerce, and the U.S. isn't blinking. With just days left before the August 1st deadline, American officials have drawn a hard line. Those 30% tariffs on EU goods will hit as scheduled, deal or no deal. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick stated plainly, that deadline set in stone. On August 1st, the new rates take effect. But here's where it gets controversial. While insisting tariffs start next week, Lutnick also hinted talks could continue afterward, adding, "Nothing stops countries from negotiating after August 1st, but they'll be paying tariffs while they talk." This dual approach has left European diplomats scrambling. The EU isn't taking this lying down. Brussels has drafted retaliatory tariffs targeting $23 billion in U.S. goods, from Kentucky bourbon to Boeing jets, though Lutnick downplayed the threat, suggesting the EU just won't do that. But this is where analysts see explosive potential. Europe could deploy its nuclear option, the anti-coercion instrument, giving it unprecedented power to counter U.S. measures. Every EU nation except Hungary, whose leader Viktor Orbán openly aligns with Trump, now supports this aggressive stance. What makes this negotiation particularly thorny? The UK secured a 10% tariff deal through special allowances, but the EU faces tougher hurdles. President Trump consistently labels EU trade practices unfair, despite Brussels' denials, and demands at least 15 to 20% baseline tariffs plus 25% on autos, which would hammer German carmakers. Analyst Arnaud Giraud warns such rates would be a total car crash for Europe, especially with the euro's recent strength compounding the pain. Financially, the stakes are astronomical. In 2024 alone, U.S. trade hit €1.68 trillion, $1.96 trillion, with the EU holding a €50 billion overall surplus. If tariffs proceed, everyday items from clothes to produce face price hikes. Yet there's a twist. Some economists argue the EU's newfound toughness might finally force a compromise. As Giraud notes, they're finally flexing muscles after being too soft. This pressure could break the deadlock. So, where does this leave us? If Europe retaliates fiercely, Could it backfire and hurt consumers on both continents? And with Hungary breaking ranks to side with Trump, does this signal deeper cracks in EU unity? Share your take below. Is this hardball strategy justified, or are both sides playing with fire?